They believed the battle was over, until a lone human cruiser emerged from the void. Beginning, the edge of despair. The galaxy's largest battle had just ended, or so every species believed. In the sector of Tyrannos Rift, fleets from dozens of worlds had clashed in what historians would later call the cataclysm of 10 armies. Hundreds of ships were destroyed, millions of lives lost, and entire orbital stations turned to debris fields. By all accounts, the invaders, the Zalari, a vicious insectoid race, had been repelled. Their flagship, the Hive Sovereign, had exploded in a massive chain reaction after the collapse of the Tyrannos Rift Station's reactor. The Allied fleets cheered and withdrew, believing the war was over. But not everyone was convinced. Commander Alara Vey, captain of the cruiser Stalwart, scanned the sector for remaining threats. Her sensors detected scattered Zalari skimmers and patrol drones, but no major ships. It was over, yet something in the emptiness unnerved her. The void itself seemed tense, as if it were holding its breath. "All clear for now," she muttered to her bridge crew. "Let's bring the survivors home." Down on the surface of the devastated moon Kryn 5, scattered resistance forces huddled among the ruins. Human regiments had suffered enormous losses. Entire units had been annihilated in orbital bombardments. Civilians had been evacuated weeks before, but the soldiers remained, clinging to what little hope they had left. Their commander, Colonel Marcus Hale, paced through the trench lines, his armor scorched and dented. "We did what we could," he said grimly, "but we're surrounded on all sides. No reinforcements are coming. The war is over for us." A young private looked up. "Sir, what if they're wrong?" Marcus shook his head. "Hope doesn't survive out here, kid. Only survivors." Middle, the void awakens. Night fell over Kryn 5, the horizon streaked with smoke and fire. Around the shattered bunkers, Zalari patrols slithered and clicked, maintaining a silent dominance. Every footstep, every scrape of their mandibles was a reminder. Humanity had fought bravely, but extinction hovered just beyond their trenches. Marcus stared at the stars through a cracked viewport, thinking of the countless humans who had died that day. His mind replayed every maneuver, every failed strike, every ship that burned in orbit. And yet, a stubborn ember refused to die. Then the sensors on his wrist console flickered. At first, he thought it was a glitch, a remnant of the orbital bombardments. But the readings persisted. A single ship, not far, not hiding. A human cruiser, old but formidable, was emerging from the deep void beyond the sector. Its hull gleamed faintly under distant starlight, engines flaring with life after long dormancy. Marcus froze. "Impossible," he muttered. "All communications, nothing. We didn't call anyone." The ship advanced silently, its trajectory precise. It wasn't just approaching, they were coming for them. The cruiser reveals. Hours later, the cruiser loomed above Kryn 5. Its hull bore the name USS Vanguard, a relic of Earth's first interstellar fleet, long thought mothballed. Its captain, Admiral Helena Crow, had volunteered for a deep space mission decades ago, exploring uncharted sectors. No one had expected her to survive, least of all to arrive at Kryn 5 at the exact moment humanity needed her. The Zalari detected the cruiser and paused. Their sensors were sophisticated, capable of predicting fleet strategies, but this was unexpected. A human warship, alone, deep in enemy territory, an anomaly. One that made even the Hive Sovereign's remnants hesitate. Marcus' troops gathered along the trench walls, eyes wide as Admiral Crow hailed them. "Humans of Kryn 5, stand fast. Reinforcements have arrived." The words rippled through the soldiers, like a jolt of electricity. Hope, real hope, replaced fear. Admiral Crow's ship deployed drones and automated defense arrays, forming a protective perimeter around the surviving regiments. From orbit, the USS Vanguard unleashed pulse cannons that disabled Zalari skimmers without destroying the moon's fragile surface. For the first time in weeks, humanity wasn't on the defensive. They had the advantage. Turning the tide. The Zalari did not retreat. Hive instincts were too strong for them to simply withdraw. They advanced, massing in clusters and swarming the human trenches. But the humans, now shielded by the Vanguard's orbital firepower, held their ground. Marcus coordinated with Crow via secure comms. Keep your drones up. Don't let them break the perimeter. The battle became a dance of technology and instinct. Human soldiers used terrain, traps, and guerrilla tactics, while the Vanguard provided precise orbital strikes. Zalari patrols were decimated, their numbers thinning as they attempted to push forward. And then the unexpected happened. The Zalari hive mind, an organic neural network controlling all creatures in the sector, recognized the Vanguard as a threat unlike any it had encountered. Their algorithms, designed to predict human behavior, failed entirely. One by one, patrols faltered. Their attacks became disorganized. Their hive signals buzzed with confusion. Marcus realized what the humans had always done differently. They were unpredictable. They acted with intuition, courage, and stubborn defiance. Even when outnumbered, humans refused to die quietly. Climax. Humanity strikes back. With the Zalari in disarray, Admiral Crow deployed boarding pods, sending elite human units onto the remaining enemy ships. The boarding teams fought with precision and daring, cutting through alien ranks, sabotaging engines, and taking control of key vessels. From the trenches, Marcus led a counteroffensive. For humanity, he roared. Soldiers surged forward, inspired by the sight of the lone cruiser in orbit. Where they had once thought hopelessness, now they moved with deadly purpose. The Zalari, driven by hive panic, attempted to flee, but the Vanguard anticipated every maneuver. Pulse cannons fired in calculated bursts, disabling ships without unnecessary destruction, herding them into traps laid by Marcus teams on the surface. Hours later, the last skimmer fell. Silence returned to the battlefield. Humans were battered, exhausted, and bloodied, but alive. Against all odds, a single cruiser had changed the course of the war. The surviving Zalari sent a single transmission, an acknowledgement of defeat. A species that had never considered humans a serious threat now understood their danger. Ending a new legacy. On the surface, Marcus walked among his troops. Soldiers cheered, embraced, and wept. They had survived. Against the galaxy's fiercest predators, they had endured, not by strength alone, but by ingenuity, courage, and the timely arrival of one extraordinary ship. Admiral Crow descended in a shuttle to meet Marcus. "You did well," she said. But this was only the beginning. The galaxy will remember this day. Marcus nodded, eyes scanning the horizon. They'll remember us. And next time, they'll think twice before underestimating humanity. Above them, the USS Vanguard glimmered in orbit, a lone sentinel against the void. It was a symbol, a warning, and a promise. No matter how impossible the odds, humans would fight. Humans would endure. Humans would strike back. And from that day forward, the legend spread. Across the sectors, across the stars, one simple truth became undeniable. Never underestimate the humans, especially when they arrive from the void.